Has the Elytra been replaced in Minecraft? It's pretty silly saying that. The Elytra or the Elytra is such a staple in the game. I don't think it'll ever be replaced. But there is this single Sulfur Cube flying machine that I'm seeing everywhere right now. It was first found by Puginator, who used a warped stem. But then I saw many recreations done online about it, all of which use the warped stem. Now, I've got a grass block here. I'm going to demonstrate that it doesn't need to be a warp stem. It can be anything, so long as it doesn't have a huge slingshot mechanism. So here is a dirt block, or even oak planks. Now, I already made a short about this, but because it was only 30 seconds, I couldn't really explain in detail why this is the case, and why it doesn't really work in survival. Don't worry, there are many other ways you can use this cube in survival mode to travel. This is just not one of them, unless I've messed up. Now, I have a sulfur cube here. I'm going to leash the boat to the sulfur cube like this. So I have to shift click to make sure this is the owner. If I gently nudge the sulfur cube across, you can see the boat is being carried along with it. So everything inside this boat is going to be carried by the momentum of this sulfur cube. Now, this is very handy because by punching the sulfur cube, that launches the boat across. And this is the new exploitable mechanic in this update. Now, I would hazard a guess that the average distance between the sulfur cube and the boat is roughly 3.5 blocks. Now, that will become necessary information later on. A chest boat is also necessary so that the sulfur cube, if it ever gets slingshotted across, cannot re-enter the boat. So this slot is occupied. A saddled pig or any rideable mob is required in this slot so that you, as a player, if you sit on the pig, do not control the leash because the player really overrides everything. Now that the pig is in the way, you do not override this mechanism. So now if you punch it, you get carried. Very, very cool. The final piece of the puzzle is the slow falling potion, which I already have over here. Throw it on the cube. Now that it has slow falling, it won't really fall very quickly. You switch over to your spear and you jab it. And then you hold right click with your momentum. You can now hit this thing endlessly. Now you got to make sure that it doesn't wind down because you've got exhaustion. When that happens, you just reset and you can hit it again. So this is very, very fast travel. You can see I'm already nearly at 1,000 blocks away. If you get tired, just reset. And there you go. With this setup, you're traveling at about 45 blocks a second, which is really comparable to Elytra, which is why people are saying this is the new flight meta. You should be trying this. One thing to note is that during Minecraft Live, there was mention of some sort of vector physics. This hasn't really been implemented yet, so I'm just traveling in a straight line. Okay, so why am I talking about this once again? Irrespective of the fact that this is an incredible piece of tech that I want to see applied in the game, this does not work in survival, and that is because of the reach distance. I'm yet to see video evidence of someone trying this and succeeding in survival mode, and for that reason, I'm convinced that I have not done anything wrong with this setup. I just don't know how to circumvent this problem, and I really want to be proven wrong because this is so cool. Here is the table for entity interaction distance. We're talking about entity interaction distances, so only these two would apply, in which it is 3 blocks. If you're in creative mode, it is 5 blocks. The spear's maximum attack range is 4.5 blocks. So at any given moment, if the sulfur cube is greater than 4.5 blocks away, while being slingshotted at maximum distances, then you cannot use the charge attack and hit it. So let's try this setup again. We're gonna grab this thing, connect to this thing, and let's go to survival mode. Let's jab it, and then let's right click. Notice nothing happens because it is just too far away, at which point when the sulfur cube comes back to you, you've already lost all your momentum. You might also think it's got no slow falling. I'm just going to give it like an infinite amount of slow falling. Let's try again. Pop a spear, hit, right click, nothing happens. It's not about hunger. A lot of people thinking that hunger is going to be affected. This has nothing to do with lunge or durability. The spear is completely fine. You're going to have unbreaking, mending, whatever. It's simply the fact that you cannot reach it. Some people have suggested a bow. Let's go. Oops. I'm actually more disappointed about this because this is such an incredible tech. To be able to leash a boat to a sulfur cube to slingshot yourself across. It really is really funny. Everything you're seeing right now about this, I'm sorry, Puginator, you need to be able to get some increased reach. What's the answer? The crab hand. Do you guys remember? Let me refresh your memory.
Crab claws allow players to place blocks further away.
Awesome!
Maybe it's not just about placing blocks, it could also allow you to reach entities farther away. We don't have the crab hands right now. So next time we have a mob vote, vote for the freaking crab hands, because that will allow you to do this crazy thing. Now, I'm not done with this video, by the way. You have other options. This is not the only way to fast travel now with the sulfur cube. Now, there are 2 things to note here. 1, all of this hinges upon a saddled pig inside a chest boat. So this will become pretty consistently used across this tech. So this will be guided on a leash towards the sulfur cube. 2, we have to talk about Java, dude. Ride the pig, yes. God, Mojang's listening. We know just how much parity there is between these two versions. We will briefly do the same setup here, so the chest boat, a pig inside with a saddle. We will summon a slime with similar properties as the sulfur cube, so silent, invulnerable, size 1. We'll hack that together. Now the chest boat is leashed to the slime. We'll sit on the pig. We have our KB stick. We've increased our interaction range by a little bit, because otherwise you would not be able to hit it. And let's go. Notice how it doesn't really go anywhere because the sulfur cube does exhibit more knockback than the slime, but this mechanic still somewhat works because the slime does push the boat across with the leash. So this is somewhat promising. However, with a spear, even with the increased interaction range, I cannot hit the slime. So on Tuesday/Wednesday, when the snapshot comes out, we shall see if this is something that gets ported over to Java Edition. I'm not going to leave you empty-handed. I really like this technique. I don't really need spears anymore for this. But because sulfur cubes are invulnerable entities that really have a lot of knockback capabilities, there is still something you can do with them. As you know, there are sticky sulfur cubes available. There are quite a few blocks that allow you to do this. I believe pumpkins can do it as well. We'll leash it and we're going to drag it across to the void. This is entirely possible in survival mode if you are able to break bedrock. So on Java Edition, you can totally do this. Now you can see the subtitles for it bouncing. You have to look for that because sticky sulfur cubes can stick to the bottom of blocks. All right, when you have this setup enabled, you just unleash because now it's just stuck. Place your chest boat down, which is absolutely meta for this update now for some reason. Place your pig down, push the pig into the boat, saddle the pig. So this is exactly the same setup as before. And then you grab the boat and then you leash it to the thing. Exactly the same situation. This truly is the new flight meta. So now what you need to do is just push the thing all the way down. Just make sure it gets pushed into the void. Once we're good, just get rid of that. And we're done. If you go all the way down here, you can see a new zip lining technique. All you have to do is jump on and then replace this block with soul sand. The sulfur cube is still stuck to the ceiling. You just need soul sand because it's really resistant, such that when you punch it, it does not break and get knocked back while unleashing the thing. You just need this really resistant block and you just keep punching it and off you go. And you just sit there, enjoy the view in the void. I've tried many other blocks. Soul sand is the best and most consistent because any other block you try, even like honey blocks, if you punch it, it really goes flying. And so you don't want this leash to break and you don't want to die in the void. And the moment vector angles get calculated into this, you'd be able to control exactly where you want this block to go by hitting a corner of the block. If I enchant with knockback 2, oh, even better. I don't know if knockback is the best way to do this because strength is probably the way to go when it gets updated. But now the only question is, how do you get back onto the surface? Well, you should probably build different stations to allow yourself to pearl out because this is really dangerous. You're in the void, you don't lose everything. Well, I was just about to end my video until a guy by the name of Ray'swork sent me a message about something that I did not try myself. So all you need once again is a sulfur cube. A lightish block is probably best as well, but this will work with anything including soul sand. A leash and a mace with windburst 1. Anything higher and your leash will snap. And so now we jump and hit. And then we keep on hitting. And once you launch yourself up a little bit, sometimes it's a little bit hard to accurately hit the sulfur cube. But after the first few hits, after everything sort of settles down, you just have to time your hits correctly. And it really gets so easy to do. Well, I've already launched myself 60 blocks up. I'm at y = 0 now. Hold left click to break blocks. I'm doing it. So the game thinks I don't know how to break blocks because I just keep tapping the left click button. Is that what's going on? It's meme physics.